Hi guys! Today I bring you the delicious and easy way that I prepare my lasagna. Not for nothing, but mine is pretty tasty and it is absolutely one of my favorite foods. You can prepare it for any occasion and also make it in advance. Do you want to know how I do it? Come and hazlo con su. The first thing we are going to do is to season the meat. Here I have 2 pounds of ground beef and 1 pound package of Italian sausage. I personally do not eat anything spicy, but you can buy the sausage in a hot or spicy. It is to your preference. And then we're going to remove the meat from the sausage casing, and then we will mix both meats. As always, I will list the ingredients in the description box. We are going to season the meat and we are going to add minced garlic, sofrito, Italian seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, oregano, 1 packet of Goya seasoning, and soy sauce. I will put some gloves on to mix all the ingredients, and then once we mix, we're going to let the meat rest for at least 30 minutes. I already have a video of how I prepare my minced garlic and sofrito, and I will leave you a link in the description box. In a heated pot over medium-high heat, we will add the meat. It is not necessary to add oil since this meat is very fatty. I recommend the 80-20 meat, which is 80% meat, 20% fat. In this occasion, I am using 90-10 because this is what I had available. You do not have to worry about the meat sticking to the pot, but you do have to stir it constantly so it does not clump up too much. And instead of having ground meat, you will literally have like a giant meatball. Here you can see all the fat and liquid that comes out of the meat, and we did not add any oil. And even if we stir regularly, the ground meat tends to clump up together anyways. So what I do is I take a potato masher and try to smash it and separate the meat as much as I can until all the meat is very loose. To get the meat to this point, it takes 8 to 10 minutes. Once we have the meat loose enough, we will add some water, enough to cover the meat and maybe a little more, and then we're going to let the meat cook and absorb all the liquid so it softens and cooks well. Also, at this time, I will put a pot with enough water to boil. This takes about 10 minutes, and once the meat absorbs most of the liquid, we will add some beef flavor bouillon. And if you don't have beef flavor, you can use chicken bouillon. The only thing is that the beef will give it a beefier flavor. And we will also add tomato sauce and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. If you do not have tomato sauce, you can add 3 tablespoons of tomato paste and a little bit of water to basically water it down, and this will just make the meat a little bit juicier. While the meat finishes cooking, we are going to cook the lasagna pasta. The pot we had put the water, it should already be boiling, and we will add some salt and the lasagna noodles. We are going to constantly be checking the meat, and once we get to the point that it is soft, not too dry, not too saucy, and for me it is basically ready. And it usually takes the same amount of time that the pasta finished cooking, about 8 to 10 minutes. We will strain the pasta, and in the same pot I'm going to use it to reheat the spaghetti sauce. I also have a video of how I make my spaghetti sauce, and I will leave you a link in the description box. This is the lasagna pan that I use, and here I am showing you that I have everything ready: the spaghetti sauce, the meat, the lasagna noodles, and a mixture of mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese, and then we are literally just going to start assembling our lasagna. We will add about 1/4 cup of sauce to the pan, and we're going to spread it all around the bottom of the pan, and then we will add 2 layers of the lasagna noodles. I first place 3 noodles and then 4, as you can see here in the video. I follow by 1 cup of meat scattered throughout the pan. Then I add 1/4 to 1/2 cup of the cheese mixture. I like it with a lot of cheese. And then again, I'm going to add 1/2 to 3/4 cups of the sauce. And then we are basically going to repeat all the steps as much as the pan allows us. I'm going to add the lasagna noodles. This time I'm adding 4 noodles to this layer, followed by the meat, then the cheese again, more sauce. I like using the lasagna pans because it is higher, so it allows me to do 3 layers of the meat in between the noodles. And again, I add noodles, meat, cheese, and more sauce. Once we finish the 3rd layer, we're going to add pasta noodles, and we're going to add those little pieces that were broken because it will not show, and I follow by sauce and some cheese. Then to end, I will add my last 3 lasagna noodles just to have a nice clean layer. I take a spoon and I check all the edges to make sure it has enough sauce, and I add the rest of the cheese. I place the lasagna in a cookie sheet because it will be very heavy. I cover it with foil and make sure the foil is not touching the lasagna so the cheese doesn't stick to it. I place it in a preheated oven at 375 degrees for 40 minutes. Once it finishes cooking, you have to let it rest for at least 10 minutes before you cut into it. And also remember that you can make lasagna and freeze it for a little bit more convenience. Lasagna is basically one of my favorite foods, and I can eat it with anything. It doesn't matter what it is, I will really enjoy it. I hope that you try it and enjoy it as much as I do. And if you make it, leave me a comment, but also share your pictures on my social media. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share it. If you have not done so, subscribe and activate the bell. Also follow me on my social media at Hazlo. Now you know how I do it. Bye!